All right, let's talk some Justin Fields. The stat line, not great. 6 for 13, 60 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. I thought that he showed me some things I really liked. I'm going to say this was a good performance from Justin Fields. Again, it has to be put in the context. This was his first performance, but I feel much better about Justin Fields today than I did 2 weeks ago. I do. I think that he showed me a lot in this game. Again, it's one game that he kind of just got thrown out there. I think I want to really see how the Bears offense looks when they sort of game plan with Justin Fields in mind. I would say that I've seen enough here that Fields isn't going to embarrass himself, I don't think, in his first game as a starter. So I think it's worth putting him out there now. I think that I've seen enough from him, whereas I think the concerns were valid of could he sort of get discouraged. I think he's good enough that he won't get completely discouraged and learn too many bad habits as a rookie. So I think it's fine to say throw him out there now. But anyways, let's get into the film study. There's a couple plays that I didn't love, but even the plays I didn't love, I don't really have a huge issue with. And there's some stuff I really liked. And I think his numbers look a lot better if Allen Robinson catches the ball that I'll talk about in the film studies. So let's just jump into it. So let's start off with a little something, but this is something that I didn't see from him in college. And this is what I love to see from a young player is them getting better at stuff that they had weaknesses of. So what's going to happen on this play is that there's going to be a blitzing defensive back, and you see Jalen Hurts, he's pointing towards him. He reads this. I'm not really sure even how he read this. I watched it. Maybe there was something he saw before the camera panned over. Maybe it's some small thing he saw in, during over the tape. Maybe this is a Matt Nagy thing, and I'm giving him too much credit. I don't know. But still, this is something we didn't see from him that much, and he did this at least once. So, again, I can't completely change my opinion after just seeing something once, but it's still pretty promising, and I definitely like to see that. And look, he is going to end up actually blitzing right here. You'll see the camera cut because they showed Fields for a second. But, I think that's a good read by Justin Fields. And again, if another quarterback did this, I might not be freaking out so much. But considering the fact that it's an area of, where he needs to improve upon, it's good to see him improve upon it. This play was very interesting. So what's going to happen is that this is the 3rd down and 8. And this is kind of the struggles that you can have as a quarterback heading into the NFL is it's man coverage. And basically on this play, since it's going to be a cover 1 blitz and, the Bears don't have the best offensive line, for Fields, you're probably going to have to push this ball down the field with kind of a anticipatory way. You can't just, wait until your guy is open and then make the throw. You're kind of going to have to make a throw earlier if you do want to make it and hope that your receiver gets open. This is what you see Ryan Fitzpatrick have trouble with because the chances are you're not going to have time to, really let it work given the fact that it's a long developing play and there is a blitz coming. And watch how right when this play starts. So you see that, at this point I've paused it. Really around right now is when Fields kind of has to make his decision. It seems quick, but it's over 2 seconds. And with a blitz, that's pretty much all the time you're going to get. So basically either don't throw this ball deep or probably the preferred option would be maybe try to find a check down. There isn't a check down available, so maybe you just accept a sack. What Fields is going to do wrong here, and I don't hate him for not throwing the ball down the field. I think that's fine. Your defense is playing well. One of the issues with this is that Fields is, and this is something where he's just going to have to learn to get better at, is he's going to kind of, try and scramble out, but there's pressure behind him. And even this isn't horrible, but you do have to keep 2 hands on the football. I mean, look, he only has 1 hand. It gets slapped out easily. That was bad. I've paused it again here because look at the situation he's in. There is no business. This shouldn't be a scoop and score touchdown. This just should be a scoop and score touchdown. That's what it should be. And the guy I'm going to want you to focus on is going to be Justin Fields, and watch just his effort here. Look at him crawl over, fight over a guy, and knocks it down and gets the ball back. To me, that's amazing. And that's all heart right there. It's crazy to me that there was that narrative that Justin Fields was, he didn't want it or whatever, because the game tape absolutely did not back that up. And even as someone who wasn't as high on Fields as others were, I even acknowledge that that's just an insane thing that people criticized him for. The tape doesn't back it up. This throw is really good, so it's going to be at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup on the edge with only a single safety deep for Allen Robinson to potential, outside the numbers, one-on-one matchup down the field. This is the shot that Justin Fields just should take. This is the correct read. When you have a guy like Allen Robinson, you give him targets. And look, as you see, so Fields takes the snap. He is going to throw this ball down the field. And, the Fields down the field, it's giving me a little bit of trouble. But anyways, you see that Robinson is a little bit open. It's certainly not wide open. And I do think you could make the argument that it should be a little bit further than Fields is going to throw it. But also, it's still a really good throw. Look, I mean, that's a catchable ball. In fact, it kind of just went straight through Robinson's hands. It was good defense. The defender knocked Robinson's hands away as he was trying to catch it. So that's why, even though it was a drop. But to me, that's a great throw. Absolutely. I'm putting that in the good category, especially for, a rookie quarterback to make these kind of things. All right, now let's talk about this one where I haven't even, read about this game at all or what people think too much at this point. But to me, I know that people are probably going to kill this play. I actually didn't think it was that bad. I thought this is a rookie making a rookie mistake. Like, that's all it looked like to me. And this is the kind of a tough play. Like, I don't have any issue with Fields on this play. So on this play, it looks like it's cover 0. And in fact, this play is probably the argument for why Fields should be starting if you're in that camp. Because what's going to happen is that it's a blitz right here, but it's not actually going to be a cover 0 like it looks like it's going to be. Watch how when Fields takes the snap, you see a Cincinnati player drop back into coverage, and Fields just never noticed this. That is what happened. That is the issue. And that seems like, oh, you got to be better at that. This actually happens, and it's kind of difficult to blame a quarterback a lot of times for these interceptions. I remember Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, just a couple years back, had a very similar interception towards the end zone. It was a very similar play. So, yeah, you would like to see Fields notice this. The more he plays, the more he will notice little things like this. But everyone makes this mistake. This is not Fields is just a bad rookie who's just stupid. No, it's actually a really difficult read for him to make, even though it looks obvious to us on the screen. And that's kind of one of the issues, is that sometimes what's clear to us when we're watching isn't actually clear with the angles that they have. So, Fields ends up throwing it right into a defender's hands. That might have been a first down had it not been for that player dropping back. So I understand the logic behind Fields making that throw. He just never spotted a defender dropping back into coverage. Like, who hasn't made that mistake in the NFL? You really can't crush him for something like that. And again, especially not when he's a rookie. I mean, you look at all the rookie mistakes that were made this week, like that one being the worst for Fields. I don't have a huge issue with that. And then, of course, this play, I mean, this was the game. This literally won them the game. And it could have, if he doesn't make this play happen, Andy Dalton doesn't make this play happen, they probably lose. It's hard to say they probably lose, but there's a good chance they lose because they're only up 3 and there's still 3 minutes left. I imagine Cincinnati would either let 40 seconds run or take a timeout. So they would have plenty of time to kick a field goal and honestly plenty of time to get a touchdown if they needed to. So you see a circle on the screen. That is not mine. That is just the broadcast. But it's a cover 2 man. And this is where I think it's fair to blame some of Cincinnati's coaching a little bit. I don't really know why you run this coverage. Obviously, Fields very good against man coverage because he can use his scrambling ability, which is also part of what Fields brings to the table, and probably something that I undervalued personally is the fact that he can basically force you into certain coverages that can make his own life easier. And look, so, Fields takes the snap, and you see that there's just a wide open space right there for Fields to run through. That just can't happen. That's not smart football right there. If you're playing man and nobody really can go back and tackle Fields, you do have to make sure that you're not giving up containment to this high of a degree. That's a bad play. It is. However, I've said this a million times in football. Oftentimes, football is directly about taking advantage of your opponent's mistakes. And even though there's going to be some contact, Fields is just, he's a big guy. He's tough to bring down, and he's fast enough to pick up the first down. And, again, that's a huge aspect of his game. I think that, you can argue, well, how good is he as a pure pocket passer? Who cares? Because that's a part of his game, and it's a big part of his game, and it really helped him there. So, yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.